Shalom Talmidim, Shemot HaPo'el Qal Kotel. Verbs, Qal Active Participle of strong verbs. The Qal Active Participle for strong verbs is formed by adding a characteristic vowel pattern to the three consonants of the verbal root. For the verb katal, we would add a holum and a tsere, kotel. This is the active participle, masculine singular. So if we were to give all of the forms, we start out with kotel for the masculine singular. In the feminine singular, we can add the kamatse ending, kotala, but there is a more common way to form this, adding a tav on the end and changing the internal vowel pattern to a segulet ending, kotelet. See how there are two segels there? And the accent is now not on the last syllable, as in kotala, but is on the second to last, or the penultimate syllable, kotelet. Kotelet is a more common form for the feminine singular active participle of the Qal stem for strong verbs than is kotala, though kotala follows the patterns of nouns and adjectives that we have seen so far and are familiar with. In the masculine plural, we add the predictable im ending, kotalim, and in the feminine plural, we add ot, kotalot. Now notice one more thing, that sere under the tet has changed in every other form. In the feminine singular, it's reduced to shava, and it has done the same thing in the masculine plural and the feminine plural. In all three of these forms, we've added endings onto the end of the form, and that new ending draws the accent away from the syllable with the tsere, goes from kotel to kotala, or kotalim, or kotalot. When you have a tsere in what's now the pre-tonic syllable, it will tend to reduce to shava. If you want to know more about this, watch the video on pre-tonic reduction. Now, a Qal active participle is typically translated into English with an English present participle, an ing form. For instance, in the sentence Tov hatalmid hakothev, we might translate it, the student who is writing is good, or a little bit more awkwardly in English, the writing student. That is, we're describing a student as one who is doing some writing. Notice we translate kothev with writing, the English present participle ending in ing. Sometimes the participle will be spelled plene as opposed to defective, so it'll have a full holum vav after the first root consonant, not just a holum. Ko, tel, kotala, etc. There's no difference in meaning. This is most commonly found in texts without vowels written, especially some Hebrew manuscripts and certain Dead Sea Scrolls. You will run into it sometimes in the Old Testament, though the spelling without the extra vav is most common.